Well, let's cross to France 24's Bénédicte Paviot, who is also outside the High Court in London. Bénédicte, just tell us what's been happening there.
Well, what's been happening is the day started with a demonstration of a lot of supporters of Julian Assange. Many of them are still here and have all kinds of slogans, placards, are very, very concerned and are making their voices heard. I mean, the one that is the most chanted is "Free, free Assange." Now, important that we played that clip of Stella Assange, Julian Assange's wife, because this is very much the line that the argument by Ed Fitzgerald this morning was used before the two judges. So to be clear, what is happening here in the Royal Courts of Justice behind me is something called a permission to appeal. So what Julian Assange's legal team are doing is they're appealing to get a full appeal, because apart from that, he's exhausted every other possible avenue in the British judicial system. So yes, he's been in prison for 5 years. Yes, he's not here, although he was granted permission to be here or even appear by video link. But what his legal team have been saying in court today in order to justify, explain and argue a future, they hope, full appeal, and this is just day one of this permission to appeal. We'll have the defence arguments today, and tomorrow we'll have the US arguments. So this morning what Ed Fitzgerald was saying, Julian Assange's lawyer, is that this is political. It's motivated by politics, and therefore this does not respect at all the UK-US treaty. You cannot extradite somebody for political reasons. Also, just before the court adjourned, they were talking about the fact that this is common practice, say Julian Assange's legal team, for certain journalists in the US to traditionally get leaks and to report them. And after all, that's what Julian Assange was doing. Of course, there are many National Union journalists, the Reporters Without Borders, many organisations here and around the world saying this is an attack on journalism. What America and the United States are saying is, look, this publication of over 700,000 highly confidential military secrets and cables have actually endangered the lives of informants, and therefore he must be extradited. It's all to play for. The stakes are very high. If he loses, he can only go to the European Court of Human Rights, the ECHR, in order to hope to suspend his extradition. So very high stakes here, possibly a decision tomorrow.
So I just wanted to pick you up on that. I mean, this is pretty much, isn't it, his last chance, just to be clear, to avoid being extradited. Just talk us through what other possibilities he might have to stop that from happening.
Well, I've been reporting on this for 13 years, ever since the beginning, and Julian Assange, who thought he went for an interview to Scotland Yard, actually got arrested and spent his first night in prison, although he'd been bailed. And here we are. He's had an extradition hearings, he's had appeals in the High Court, we've been there, he's had appeals at the Supreme Court, we've been there too. Basically, if he loses, if his team loses, and we could find out, as I said, tomorrow, if not, it could be a few days, he will only have one recourse, and his legal team had said they would apply immediately to the ECHR in Strasbourg in order to try and get that appeal. But there is no certainty that they would. If he wins, then we have a more protracted judicial process here in the United Kingdom.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed for bringing us all the latest from the High Court in London. France 24's Bénédicte Paviot there. Thank you.